Hey, good morning, my friends. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the Live Morning Weather Update. I almost said good Friday morning. We wish, right? Well, a good Wednesday morning, and here we go. The next cold front is coming southward tonight and Thursday. It's one of these that's going to come straight from the north, push straight south across lower Michigan, set off a round of showers, nothing that's really substantial or severe, and then it's actually going to bring in what I would call quite a chilly day on Friday. Friday will be one of those days where you go, wow, fall may be here. Now, do we get back to summer? Yes, we do. It looks like, and I'll show that to you here as we look at the, extended data. But right now, satellite picture shows some odd little showers coming off of the southern end of Lake Michigan. We could still have a spotty, very isolated lake effect rain shower, but most all of us are going to be in on the dry side today with sunshine. You see the clouds building across the UP, and that means that the cold front is on the way. So here's our radar forecast for today. And like I said, I would consider it a dry day if you get showered on like they already have in the far southwest corner, like you already have in the far southwest corner of the state. It lasts maybe 5 minutes or so, and then it's done. A radar forecast noontime. Great weather to be outside. Outside lunch would be a great idea. And we go into the afternoon. This is 6 o'clock this evening. The showers coming across the UP with the cold front now in the evening hours, starting to dip into the tip of the mitt, Mackinac Straits region, Wolverine, Indian River, East Jordan, down to eventually toward midnight, eventually toward Traverse City area. But this is 1 in the morning, so that cold front's going to take a little time with the precipitation, and it'll be shifting into the southern half of the state during the day on Thursday. So this is this afternoon from a different model, and it has a couple of little showers across the thumb. I would agree with that. Here's your cold front. Let's go to 7 in the morning tomorrow. Saginaw, Bay City, the thumb. Grand Rapids, Big Rapids, Newaygo, Muskegon, even Traverse City area, Cadillac, still some spotty showers, and the showers down in the southern half of the state, Ann Arbor, Detroit, 10 o'clock tomorrow, 11 noon. So a showery morning in the southern half of the state tomorrow, and even into the afternoon. This is 4 and 5 and 6 o'clock. Then it becomes, after the main patch of showers, it becomes brief lake effect showers, and then as we go into Thursday night and Friday, a straight north wind will make those lake effect showers only in the thumb. The rest of us have dry weather. Then we pick it up with the next model that goes out farther into the future, shows us a great weekend. So here's the cold front on Thursday. Then here's Friday. That's the kind of flow that does lake effect in the eastern part of the thumb. You can see that right there, but otherwise dry conditions. One thing about this weekend, fairly light winds to almost calm winds at times. How do we see wind as meteorologists? We see it by the pressure gradient. See those little gray, black, thin squiggly lines with numbers on them like 10, 20. Those are the pressure lines. The closer the pressure lines, the stronger the wind. So if you don't see any pressure lines or just one pressure line in lower Michigan, you know that it's a light wind. Look at Saturday morning. That's a dead calm morning. I think Saturday morning is going to be on the chilly side. I could see some 30s in places inland. Now this is Sunday afternoon. Pressure gradient? No. So again, very light winds. And then we go to Labor Day. And this is Labor Day afternoon. And you see that one shade of light green. I don't see a reason for a scattered shower on Labor Day. And again, it's still a fairly light wind starting to sneak around to the south. And by Tuesday, we'll have a south wind starting to warm up before our next cold front. And then behind it, the next punch of cooler air. And look at the very top of the screen. That little pink is the model saying it's cold enough for a mix. That doesn't mean that it would happen, but the point is it's getting closer and closer. And then there's another cold front. So we are into our fall cold fronts, and each one brings progressively cooler air by a couple of degrees. So total rainfall on this cold front, I would call it a quarter to a half inch for most of us. There will be some spots that stay under a quarter inch, and it looks like northern lower Michigan will have the more robust rainfall. It could be maybe over a half inch, maybe approaching 3/4 of an inch in places. I think we could all still use it. Temperatures. So like I said, we've got a warming trend coming as we head into the holiday weekend. This is today. And today, ahead of the cold front, will be pretty mild, although we're starting off chilly. We'll make it well into the 70s for a lot of us around the Tri-Cities. That's Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. For those of you to other parts of the state, we make it about 75, but otherwise very comfortable in the 70s. Tomorrow, 60s, 50s in the UP in the colder air, 60s to near 70 because of the clouds and the showers in the middle part of the day. Friday, that's with some off and on sunshine. It's only in the 60s and a stiff north wind. So Friday is a sweatshirt day. Saturday, we start to turn around, still have the power of a August sunshine. We could still call it August on Saturday. Then Sunday, tack on another 5 degrees. We're making it up to 75, full sunshine, light wind, feeling like 80. And then Labor Day continues to trend a degree upward each day. And I think Labor Day is going to be around 80 degrees, 78 to 82, let's call it, for a lot of places in lower Michigan. Labor Day looks very, very nice. Tuesday, a touch warmer into the low 80s. Wednesday, a lot of us in the low 80s ahead of the front, and western part of the UP, highs in the low 50s. And then look at Thursday. The cold front sweeps across, cools us down for several days. And this model wants to bring the 80s back, which is certainly very easy to do at this time of the year. Let's look at the morning low temperatures. Tomorrow's morning will be not too cold because of the clouds and the showers. That, remember, holds the heat in and it keeps the temperature from bailing out on us in the morning. Let's see. We got some questions here, folks. Teresa Johnson, good morning from White Lake. Thursday evening concert in Standish. Will we get rained on the whole time? No. Thursday evening in Standish, I think would probably have a good chance of being dry. Dave Feinblum brings up the fact that it's 72 below at the South Pole right now. So here's Friday morning. Here's Saturday morning, which I really think will see the models go down some in temperature, probably down in the 40s, but all of us make it into the 40s. And you know what this is going to do? This is going to start to trigger the trees to say, hey, it's time. This is a little bit cooler than what we've had in the last several years in late August, early September. So I think we might start to see earlier change, and that doesn't mean we reach peak earlier, because if we turn around and turn warm, then the fall color change puts a halt on. Next week, temperatures come back up into the 50s and 60s for lows before we get our next cold front, and by next Friday, we're looking at a couple of degrees colder yet, and we're starting to see the 30s show up in northern Wisconsin. And guess what, folks? The race is on. The race to fall, true permanent fall weather is on. We know that because we look at the calendar and we know that time just passes, right? And that means the race will also be on to our next season. Some of us, our favorite season as a meteorologist, Yeah, I would say in interest, winter is the more interesting season here in Michigan because there's a lot to do in weather. Hey, enjoy it. We've got some classic late summer weather on the way. Some of the best in the country going to happen here in the next couple of days. Labor Day could be 6 stars on a 5-star rating. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. Hit the share button and tell your friends. Bye.